A recent study showed that the value of XRP has skyrocketed to an amazing $1,427. We think that 30% of global banking institutions will accept it, which may seem like a small number at first. This number stands for a big part of the world's banking business. The interesting claim that Ripple works with about a third of the world's banks is supported by all the evidence we have today, but the question still stands. These banks don't seem to be making the most of what Ripple can do. We'll talk about this subject in more depth. During our conversation today, we'll also talk about some current events. The fine was made just 2 days ago. This means that Ripple should be available to the public by the end of March. As the end of March draws near, this action could send the price of XRP through the roof, reaching an amazing $8.97 in just over a month. Before we get into today's subject, let's take a moment to check in. Please do me a small favor. To be a part of our amazing group, all you have to do is click the like button, subscribe, and bell. It's interesting that SBI Holdings is responsible for about 4% of all deposits made through foreign accounts. In the big picture, this means that SBI may be a big part of the 30% of banks around the world that may someday use Ripple's technology. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Ripple is already known around the world, but they just recently formed a big relationship with the Brazilian central bank to bring their on-demand liquidity services to Brazil. Since we were just talking about the RCK nations, do you remember what we talked about in the last video? Has a direct link to Ripple, such as China, South Africa, and Brazil. Demand liquidity and digital currencies released by central bank CBCs make it possible for Ripple to connect Russia and India directly. The British countries alone make up almost 29% of the world's GDP, which is smaller than the GDP of the whole world. This brings up an interesting option should the British countries decide to work together. In a previous video, I talked more about the big effects Ripple could have, including how possible it is to add CBCs to the XRP system and how work is still being done to do so. You can't say enough good things about how important the XRP system is in this situation. It is very important to the growth of the banking system. Because of this, there may be effects when we look ahead to the next bull market. When the Federal Reserve made an official announcement, the conversation about Ripple's new role in financial technology changed in a big way. They said that XRP and XLM could be very important in making the blockchain stronger so that their new FedNow payment system works better. The Federal Reserve emphasized this change, saying that working with the metal blockchain was a key step towards making it easy to switch from currency to stable currencies, which would close the gap. The traditional banking business is very different from the decentralized financial industry. At the moment, Americans can send money instantly within the United States using digital Bitcoin wallets or third-party apps like Venmo and PayPal. However, the FedNow service is about to totally change this market. And companies like US Bank and Exchange Bank, as well as a number of payment processors and solution providers, are among the over 120 that have already signed up to use the platform in its test phase. This is a big step forward in the integration of traditional banking with the cutting-edge field of decentralized finance. It also shows that blockchain technology is becoming more popular in common financial services. Ripple, a big name in distributed ledger technology and cross-border payment systems, is about to play a big part. In the Federal Reserve is in charge of a project called Stellar Lumens XL. It is known for its blockchain-powered network that makes things easier and saves money. At this point, the Fed is expected to combine global transactions. The story takes an interesting turn in just 8 hours. According to the story, a headline summed up the fintech, which caused its value to skyrocket to $1,427. This level of acceptance shows that there is a huge need for XRP, which has sent its price to all-time highs and raised its market capitalization. The rise of XRP is not only good news for Ripple, but it could also be very good news for investors. The news that XRP's market share is about to go over 30% is a big change that makes the story more interesting because it means that the cryptocurrency could be used much more widely in the global financial system. Reports from 6 days ago said that XRP trades would go over $1.2 quadrillion, which could push its price up to $10,000. There is no doubt that this news that financial institutions are starting to use the XRP ledger and its digital assets more heavily is a sign of a huge change. The plan to buy back Ripple's shares is now a reality and is moving along faster than anyone thought possible. It's not just a guess anymore. A recent news story says that the company that made XRP is actively buying it. A recent story said that Ripple started a small-scale buyback and got rid of about 1 billion XRP. This shows that people have a lot of faith in XRP's value and future. The story goes deeper into the financial environment, showing that the Federal Reserve is interested in using XRP as a mechanism. This is the most important part of the world's payment system, and it has huge effects. If central banks agree with WID, XRP could become worth between $112,000 and $222,000 per coin. This rise in value shows how revolutionary XRP could be in changing the way global banking works. In addition, Google's findings back up this trend. The trend backs up the Federal Reserve's plans to use XRP as a way to pay for things around the world because of its unique properties. It's getting clearer that the Federal Reserve wants XRP. A few weeks ago, the Federal Reserve said it would follow the ISO 4217 guidelines and put XRP into use around the world. The bold plan was supposed to be put into action by the end of 2023, but it ran into unexpected delays that kept a lot of people from using XRP as a real currency as soon as regulators gave the go-ahead. These changes are a big step forward for Ripple and XRP. They put them at the center of financial innovation and could change the way payments are made around the world. At the moment, governments and central banks make XRP, along with well-known currencies like the US dollar, the euro, the British pound, and the Canadian dollar. However, the story thickens as more information comes out about the Federal Reserve's plans to actively use Google's insights about XRP digital assets. As a government figure who backs using XR's public chain to set up a side chain, Kikuchi's suggestions get a lot of attention. An expert named KG says that this method would let Federal Reserve money directly affect what happens in the private sector. The head of the US Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, has made it possible for levels of cooperation and scientific growth that have never been seen before. And this is just the beginning. A lot of money is being put into building new independent payment systems in the United States. This shows that financial technology and digital assets are about to go through a revolutionary phase. Keep in mind that I'm not a skilled financial advisor. The only reason these movies exist is to make you laugh. People who watch my videos should always do their own study and talk to experts before making any financial decisions. Thank you for watching. Please click the like button if you like the movie. Don't forget to turn on alerts so I know right away when I add new information. It will be great to see you in the next show. Be careful.